Hi everyone. I want to talk about the principles or practices of self-leadership. Now, my latest book, as you can see behind me, is Successful Self-Leadership, and in that book I talk about 7 key practices. And the first, and I would argue the most important, is the first practice, which I call Know Thyself. Know thyself is a saying that's been around for 2,500 years. It's believed to have emanated from Socrates. It's such an eloquent statement. It really does encapsulate what self-awareness is all about. And there are basically 4 ways that you and I can become more self-aware. Now, most of us actually think we're very self-aware, far more self-aware than we really are. And that's a trap because we assume that we don't need to go on the journey of self-awareness because we already know ourselves very well. But that's not always true. But here are the 4 practices, nevertheless. And of course, I elaborate on these practices, talk about how they can be used in my book, Successful Leadership, Self-Leadership. The first basic practice is journaling. Is actually to use journaling to write down your thoughts, your ideas, your feelings, and that can be done in a very ad hoc way, and it doesn't have to be done every day. But journaling actually takes the thoughts that are in your head and puts them on paper so that you can detach yourself somewhat from those thoughts so that you can look at things a little bit more objectively. The second key way is mindfulness. Now, that's a very trendy word, but mindfulness, it means being present. It means being in the moment. So if I'm in a meeting, be in the meeting. And if I'm actually aware that I'm being mindful, then I'm not being mindful. So being in the moment teaches us lessons from around us. By the way, being mindful means that you're going to be at your absolute best. So we spend most of our time mindless. So practicing mindfulness is the second key way of developing better self-awareness. The third one is actually asking for feedback. And feedback from others is often challenging because people often don't feel reluctant to give you honest feedback, but feedback that's honest, authentic, and insightful can be hugely inspirational if we choose to embrace that feedback itself. And the fourth way is actually doing a personality profile. And of course, there's a myriad of those out there. You've probably done several yourself, but to read carefully about the strengths and opportunities for growth in those personality profiles can be extremely insightful. So there you are, folks, 4 simple ways and very powerful ways to develop your own self-awareness. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.